Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, officially took over the role of the official opposition leader in this country. And William Ruto took that role because he wanted to achieve three objectives. The first thing he wants to do is to try and dissociate from Jubilee failures. The truth of the matter is that Jubilee government failed big time. So the Deputy President wants to go into this campaign minus Jubilee baggage. Number two, he also wants to portray Raila Odinga as someone who has absconded his duties as the opposition leader in this country. And number three, the Deputy President is also keen to appear as someone who is supportive of pro-people policies. And that's why, despite the fact that the president had actually issued a directive on measures which are going to see the reduction, which are going to see the reduction on the cost of fertilizers, the Deputy President still went ahead and talked on the high cost of fertilizers and also on the fuel shortage, which the president also had addressed earlier. So in this video today, I want us to look at William Ruto's new strategy. Because as much as the Deputy President is trying to look good, trying to be the official opposition leader, there are certain ghosts which are still haunting him, and he can't run away from those ghosts. I've identified these 5 ghosts which I want us to look at. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. Without the support, the channel cannot be where it is. So please, I want to make this request to you guys because I know most of you guys enjoy the channel, the videos. So the best thing you can do is just to give the videos thumbs up, and also you can support the channel by just dropping your comments and sharing the videos to various platforms, WhatsApp, Facebooks, and the rest. I want to go straight to the point. The Deputy President, if you've been following his politics, is trying to rebrand. The Deputy President appears to be working so hard to be the voice of the voiceless. But as much as the Deputy President is trying to rebrand, he can't succeed because of these 5 reasons, because of this ghost. The first ghost which is haunting the Deputy President, and I don't know how he's going to deal with it, is the Aror and Kimwarer scandal. In Aror and Kimwarer scandal, over 21 billion Kenyan shillings was lost. The Deputy President justified that only 7 billion was lost. As we speak, the contractor has actually taken the government of Kenya to a court. So far, nothing has happened on the ground. 7 billion has gone into waste, and the Deputy President defended the Aror and Kimwarer. So which means when the Deputy President sometimes he wants to talk on the issues like corruption, he can talk of the corruption on KEMSA, the Deputy President can talk on any other scandal. But the only one which he has always avoided and Kenyans have always reminded him is this Aror and Kimwarer scandal. I don't know how he's going to address it, but for sure the Deputy President and all his entire brigades have always defended the Aror and Kimwarer scandal. They've never even asked the agencies to do thorough investigations. So in my view, this is something which is going to haunt the Deputy President until after the election, because money was lost, project not done. The last time the Deputy President was in Italy, most Kenyans believed that he went to try and figure out the best solution for the Aror and Kimwarer scandal. So that's the first ghost which is really haunting him. The second ghost which is haunting the Deputy President, in my view, is Jubilee failures. And Jubilee failures between 2013 and 2017. For those who are in this country, Jubilee government came into power because they made serious promises to the people of Kenya. But once they got the power, they overborrowed. Actually, we are in debt, serious debts today. We are facing the problems we are facing today because of overborrowing by Jubilee government. What they did is that the project which President Uhuru Kenyatta, which President Moi Kibaki and Raila Odinga had initiated, which were good, they went and tripled the cost. Take, for example, the SGR. The SGR cost was actually tripled. Remember, it was borrowed already. The government, the cartels within the government had inflated the figures. Once they took over, the cost tripled. So the funding from this SGR was actually borrowed. So Kenyans are today burdened by debts because of borrowing by Jubilee government. So there's no way William Ruto can run away from Jubilee failures when it comes to overborrowing. Let us look at the looting. A lot of looting in this country took place between 2013 and 2017. It is during 2013 and 2017 period where so many ghost projects were actually initiated in this country. When you talk of Aror and Kimarer, 21 billion. You talk of Twakedam, how many billions? You talk of which project? There were so many projects, mega projects, which were initiated by this government and were looted to the ground. The Galana Kulanu project, a very good project, was looted complete. In fact, that project, the Israeli government funded it fully. But the president was convinced that that project was not funded by the Israeli fully. So the government also paid. And those money paid by the government went to people's pockets. And Kenyans are suffering because of looting which took place during that time. Also during the period of 2013 and 2017 is when we had what we can call entrenched tribalism, where Kenyans would share the list of KRA officials, and they would read one or two tribes. They would share officials from another parastatals, one or two tribes. So Jubilee failures is something which is still haunting William Ruto to date. And in fact, if there's one thing which William Ruto would not want to come up, is Jubilee failures prior to handshake. He is happy with whatever has happened after the handshake, but not before the handshake. The third ghost which is haunting William Ruto is land grabbing. The truth of the matter is that William Ruto has suffered, and between 2017 up to now, he's worked hard not to be involved in any land scandal. But there's a ghost of Langata Road Primary School. Langata Road Primary School land was being grabbed. And I remember personally I was present with Eliud Owalo. We were present when we were trying to protect that land from land grabbing. And that scandal is still very fresh. When you see, when you talk of Langata Road Primary School, what comes to your mind is normally the tear gassing of those children. Who would have ordered the tear gassing of children? And also the Weston Hotel, which is sitting right in a government land. So those Langata Road Primary School land and Weston Hotel is a ghost which is disturbing the deputy president. He has always tried to explain, but not very clear. I want you to listen to the deputy president trying to explain that the land, the Langata Road Primary School land, was actually owned by someone else. You know, it's justifying that it's another individual Kenyan who owns it. That same guy has been found to be a business associate of the DP. At one point, the same guy also, because Weston was in contention, he also claimed ownership of Weston Hotel. So listen to the deputy president.
Langata Langata Primary. William Ruto orchestrated the tear gassing of children because William Ruto owns Langata Road.
Right.
My friend Hussein, I want whoever is making that allegation to look at me. My name is William Ruto. There is a person who owns the land of Langata Road. He has not denied ownership. The owner of Langata Road Primary School, who is laying claim to Langata Road Primary School, is in court. He is not a ghost. He is not a foreigner. He is a Kenyan. He is in court. He is the owner of Airport View Limited, which owns a whole estate in Wilson Airport. It's not something that you can apply guesswork. How does a Kenyan who is in court and he says, I am so and so, how does that become William Ruto?
It was actually blamed on Western Hotel, which some have said actually belongs to you.
I have interest in Western Hotel.
You have interest in Western Hotel?
Western Hotel is completely different from Langata Road Primary School. Each one has its own title. The title for Langata Road Primary School is in court. The owner of Langata Road Primary School is in court, still claiming ownership of the school, my friend.
Right.
And you see, it is not being reported because those who are chasing it found out that it had nothing to do with William Ruto.
Right.
Let me take you to MTRH.
Right. Sorry, if we can. So these are clips of Western Hotel. I think this was a while back. You were there when the construction. But you've said today that you have an interest in Western Hotel.
Correct.
That means you own part of Western Hotel?
I own shares in Western Hotel.
You own shares in Western Hotel.
Yes.
The fourth ghost, which is really haunting the DP, is the empty promises. The empty promises which were made to Kenyans by President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. And they were saying like, kusema na kutenda. Kusema na kutenda turned into tendering. In fact, if you look at Jubilee promises between 2013 and 2017, none of them were ever met. They promised stadiums, never met. Paid internships, never met. They promised several projects which were never achieved. In fact, in the last election, 2017 election, Jubilee government created a portal. And that portal was actually full of lies. So I want you to listen, for example, to the deputy president being put to task over the empty promises of the stadium.
Your development record, because this is your pet subject. You speak about it in every forum you go.
Correct.
Tell us what Jubilee has done. But let me begin with this, because this is very important to Kenyans.
I know many people, I have heard many people discuss about, okay, you made promises, you haven't kept some of them. As we talk today, in 6 months' time, the stadium in Wote will be complete. In 3 months' time, the stadium in Chuka will be complete. In 3 months' time, the stadium in Moyale will be complete. In 6 months' time, the stadium in Kamarin in West Pokot, which is historic, will be complete. In a couple of months, the stadium in Eldoret will be complete. In Nyeri, the president gave the title. There was a challenge of title. Now we have a title, and now the program has been rolled out. In Kiambu, in another 3-4 months, the stadium will be complete. We have challenges. We have a small challenge in Mombasa because the county government has issues of ownership of the land, although all the contracts and everything has been signed for, including the tartan for the stadium is in place. We have a small challenge again in Kisumu because the county government has not relocated the dumping site, which is next to the stadium, and international requirements dictate that you cannot have a dumping site side by side with a stadium. As soon as that is relocated, that process will be complete. So instead of 5 stadiums, we actually went for 9, just to make it good and to make it better.
And the last ghost which will haunt the DP seriously is election rigging. You know, William Ruto was the face of Jubilee campaigns in the last election, and even in 2013. When rigging took place, people accused his man, Davis Chirchir, whom they ended up nominating as a cabinet secretary. So the deputy president is facing a similar challenge, that roles have now shifted. He's now where Raila Odinga was, and he's been complaining of plans to rig elections. Oh, his elections cannot be stolen. And now their team are saying that they are going to create a tallying center. In the last elections, the deputy president declared tallying centers illegal. So that's something which is going to haunt him. The other thing which is going to haunt the DP is the Chris Msando's ghost. Why am I saying this? Chris Msando wanted to ensure that we have a free, fair, and credible elections in this country. He was eliminated. The deputy president, so far, I've never heard him talk about the issue of Msando, justice for Msando. And you know, anytime you talk of elections in this country, in fact, today, if IBC were to trend on Twitter, Chris Musando would also trend on Twitter. So I don't know what you think, but for me, those are some of the challenges which the Deputy President will have to deal with. Thank you guys for taking your time to watch, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.